Welcome to the WINN Show. If, like our team, you're naturally curious, passionate about Worcestershire, take delight in gaining new knowledge, and above all, love to hear about the brilliant businesses and all the innovation strengths we have in the county, then this show is for you. In a digital age that's rapidly driving us into the future, with new technical innovations, Worcestershire is at the forefront of this, from connectivity and infrastructure to clusters of technical innovators and businesses. Worcestershire 5G has become synonymous with the leading edge of 5G-based innovation in manufacturing, installing the first 5G network in a factory setting in the UK, arguably the world, at Worcester Bosch. 5G applications have demonstrated clear productivity benefits, and Worcestershire 5G are launching their testbed as a service model at Malvern Hill Science Park in 2020. Locally, Metis Aerospace, alongside the Wireless Broadband Alliance, announced the world's first Wi-Fi 6 industrial trial in Redditch, and a number of private investors have announced plans to build gigabit-capable broadband across the county. The global technology industry is a sector that exhibits rapid change and innovation, and as we enter Industry 4.0, in this episode we're going to look at digital tech and how it plays a part within Worcestershire, led by R&D intensive markets and breakthroughs leading to noble advances and market pioneers. So, out and about today is Simon to introduce us to the people who are making a positive impact.
Well, I'm joined by Ian Woodley from Stilo Design. Thank you so much for joining us, Ian.
Thank you.
So, Ian, tell us about the innovation behind Stilo Touch.
So we recognise that businesses, particularly of a technological or an advanced manufacturing sector, need to find better ways to showcase their expertise, to really demonstrate their technology or their product range out to their customers, to their investors, to their stakeholders. And so we developed a platform which we call Stilo Touch, which brings together a whole range of media to enable them to tell their story in a much deeper way. So instead of having that traditional slide deck, which is very linear, slide 1, slide 2, slide 3, they can bring up video, animation, motion graphics, tap points, comparison specifications, and it really helps them tell a much richer story out to their customers.
And how is Stilo Touch helping businesses to be digitally smart?
So a great example of this would be our local business Neopearl. They're based in Malvern. They do the aerators and flow regulators into taps and plumbing systems. They're a global player. In their Malvern facility, they have fantastic advanced manufacturing down to minute tolerances. And so the technology that they have within their business is fantastic. But they needed a way to be able to really demonstrate this out to their customers. They were using a whole range of different PDFs and slide decks, and it just wasn't giving them the technical expertise that they wanted to portray. So we developed a specific Stilo Touch for Neopearl, and that allows them to dive into company information, to launch video content, and to very quickly be able to go down to product level detail within just a few taps. And so the guys have everything at their fingertips. It's all offline, so it doesn't matter where they are. They can bring up their whole range of information quickly, professionally, and it really helps them position themselves as a leader in their market.
And what does this mean for Worcestershire?
So I think within the county, there's a huge range of really innovative businesses with a lot of technical expertise and some fantastic products and technology going on there. And so for these businesses to be showing themselves as digitally smart, for them to be able to be using new technology to really demonstrate the quality of their work and the advances they're making, then that's a really benefit for them, and it really helps put Worcestershire on the map.
And for those that are curious, how can they find out more?
So the best way is to have a quick look at our website. That's www.brandstilo.co.uk. There's loads of information in there, loads of case studies on how we've been helping local businesses. And I'm always really happy just to drop onto a call, talk through how we can help them, have a look at their current material and suggest new ways that they could be working a bit smarter.
Well, it's been great to chat to you, and thank you so much for joining us, Ian.
Thanks very much.
Joining us virtually today for the WINN Show is Nicola Whiting from Titania. We're absolutely delighted that you are with us today.
Thank you for inviting me. It's an absolute pleasure to be here.
So Nicola, can you tell me a bit about the innovation behind Titania and what goes on behind the scenes?
So to really explain that, you kind of have to go back in time to the fact that our CEO, Ian, really likes pizza more than he likes coding. And Titania started because he was something called a check team leader, which is basically a pen tester that's got multiple accreditations with GCHQ and is the kind of higher end leading teams type guy. And he had a project that involved auditing device configurations for firewalls and switches and routers, and there was a lot of them. And if you've ever done anything like that or you're in the industry, you'll know it's an incredibly boring and complex job. And he had so many of them that he decided that instead of spending his time manually doing that, he would write a program to do it automatically. So the same time that he would have done that, he wrote a program. And that was the start of our products. So it was something for him. And then, as is the way with pen testers, because it's a very lively and supportive community, they all went, "Oh, that's good. Can I have a bit of that?" And so he sent it out to his friends, and then the friends told the friends, and it grew from there. And the very, very earliest version of Nipper was much simpler than the huge amount of code that now is in there. So the early days it was written to solve a problem. And actually, we haven't changed that. Our tools still are really designed with the clients to solve their specific problems. It just happens to be that the whole industry pretty much have the same sort of problems, which is, we've got a massive amount of different devices. Every single one of them is different. I need to make sure that they're consistently hardened against ideally a decent security baseline. How do I do that quickly with the amount of people that I've got? So that's where we play. We play with the automation in that. And in terms of the innovation, we were the first people in the world to do it. I think pretty much acknowledged to be the most accurate in the world at what we do, which is pretty important when you're looking at hardening devices against attack. And the next set of innovation, which we're really, really excited about, we're working with the US military and some of our other large clients to solve the big challenge of moving from SIEM, which is kind of collecting data and making decisions, to SOAR, which is automatic remediation and mitigation of challenges. It's really quite exciting. And maybe when we've launched it fully, we might go for another Queen's Award for innovation, which we were really lucky to get a few years ago.
Well, we were delighted to see that you won the Queen's Award, and you mentioned community, collaboration and problem solving, all topics that we hear from innovators regularly. So what does all of this work mean for Worcestershire?
It's kind of exciting in Worcestershire, and also we have some challenges.
So I guess it's not just Worcestershire, but there's a huge cyber community.
We're always saying how great an area Worcestershire is, but not just Worcestershire, the whole of the Cyber Valley, from kind of Shropshire down to, into sort of Bristol area. That whole area is a hub of innovation. And I think we're stronger when we are very much talking about being part of that rather than just kind of standing alone. And we're always stronger together.
Absolutely agree. So what have the positive impacts been with Titania?
If you look at the positive impact of two things really with Titania. There's the technology, and then there's how we operate as a business. So in terms of technology, if you think about the attackers and the people that would get in the way of business, you know, the people that bring out ransomware or do phishing attacks or things like that, essentially, you could have somebody that isn't that sophisticated in a bedroom, download a bit of code off the dark web, and be able to do relatively sophisticated attacks with not much knowledge. And the defenders don't necessarily have the advantage, because we haven't got quite as much automation and it's not quite as joined up as we'd like. So that's the area that we're playing in. When you look at attacks that are successful, and there are too many of them by far, a lot of them are down to stupid basic stuff. You know, it's things that haven't been patched still. It's things that haven't been consistently applied still. It's gaps that we've left that nobody should leave still. And that isn't a people problem. It's sometimes a resource problem, and it's sometimes to do with really complicated buying cycles. Now, that's not their fault. That's not the fault of the person managing it, but it is a technology problem that we've got. And in terms of the human side, Worcestershire is brilliant at this. We've got the Chamber of Commerce and the LEP and so many other organisations that are really invested in diversity and inclusion, or inclusion and diversity, really, because you include people first and then the diversity flows. And the reality is that makes us stronger. And Titania have been sharing their best practices for some time and doing a lot of speaking on this. I'm autistic, so, you know, as a co-owner of the company, having an autistic woman being a front person helps other people go, oh, okay, then I can do that too. But essentially, you know, we've got Worcestershire Works Well, which is a fantastic programme. We've got loads and loads of businesses that are award-winning in Worcestershire for how they take care of their people. And we do have quite a good network of learning from each other and going, oh, that's a really neat thing that you've just talked about. Let me see if we can get that into our business too. And that means that Worcestershire's a great place to move to and work in. So that's one of the things that I think we're really, really strong on as a county.
We're very lucky, and our businesses, colleagues and people that live here have a huge pride for this county. So how is current knowledge shaping your future?
So it's really interesting, because what led us to the point we're at now isn't necessarily going to be the same knowledge that takes us to the next section of our journey. Because, you know, we've, in the past sort of year and a half, 2 years, we've hired some really amazing leadership people. And I do mean amazing leadership people. So, you know, we're a 50-something person company in Worcestershire. The whole of the team, like from the leadership team to the managers to our kind of Titanian titans. I am really, really fortunate. And so the next phase for us is partly going to be more of the same, but partly going to be scaling. And by scaling, I mean dramatic scaling, because we're going to have to support America more. You know, we're launching something that is going to be much more tied into people's enterprise networks, which normally requires more support because people kind of want you to be out there with them, holding their hand. So there's going to be lots of opportunities for people as well. So it's both scary and exciting.
And how can people find out more?
So if they want to find out more about me personally, then there's nicolawhiting.com, which I will update someday, promise, just like everybody else with their own websites. Probably the easiest place would be Cyber Go Giver on Twitter. So that's where I tend to, like if I'm speaking, I'll often put my speaker notes up there so people who maybe can't attend wherever I'm speaking can get some of the highlights or the takeaways. It's where I publish a lot of diversity pieces, not only written by me, but written by other people that often have first-hand experience, whether it's dyslexia or dyspraxia or being autistic or whatever it might be. So Cyber Go Giver on Twitter, and then obviously my LinkedIn, which I'm always happy to connect with people on. Titania has social media outlets, and so you've got Titania on Twitter and Titania on LinkedIn and Titania on Facebook even, which does tend to have a lot of bake-off stuff and personal stuff about the team and like really cute dogs. So yeah, we have so many different routes of connecting with people.
Well, it sounds like you have some fantastic resources for people to utilise. Thank you so much for sharing your journey with us.
Thank you so much for inviting me. And, you know, Worcester is world class, and I'm proud to be part of its journey and support both our own company and others. So thank you.
Thanks, Simon. That was a real insight into the future. So whether you are using one of the new technologies or creating a new technology, Worcestershire really does seem the place to be. So I'm really excited and looking forward to all of these developments, as I'm a bit of a future geek. Amy, for the last time this series, tell us more about the industries flying the flag for Worcestershire.
Did you know?
Thanks, Jess. It's Techie Wednesday. Did you know? Now, someone who can get a signal in the middle of nowhere is QinetiQ. Signal received loud and clear. This next company not only keeps us warm at night, but now also turns my home into a smart home. Alexa, she's got her work cut out now. Coomber Innovation works closely with customers to engineer a perfect solution. Let's find out more. The tech of the future today. Now on to a company that makes innovative cordless products to make life a little bit easier. Let's go and find out more. I'm all for a cordless future. The future of tech is so exciting, and it's been an amazing journey across Worcestershire. And our map proves that the innovation mindset can be applied to anything. We should all be really proud of what this county has to offer. Now, let's add them to our map of Worcestershire.
QinetiQ. Gtech.
It's impossible not to be inspired as we hear all the stories of digital innovators within the county and how they're going to impact on all of our futures. Knowing we have such brilliant minds taking on the challenges we face that bring us such vast opportunities that see beyond the day-to-day, this means a bright future for generations to come. Have you ever wondered just how connectivity is evolving and how Worcestershire is at the forefront of this? Me too. Here's Steve Ashton from Worcestershire County Council to explain.
We're at a critical time in terms of connectivity in the UK and in Worcestershire. The sector is moving very quickly, a transition from copper to fibre in terms of broadband, but also a transition into the new kind of fifth generation of mobile connectivity, 5G, and a whole host of other new technologies as well that augment that and support that. In Worcestershire, we started our 5G journey in 2016, looking at what benefits we thought this could have for the county. Clearly, one of the first points that we had back was, what about 2G, 3G and 4G? So we've continued to address those points and try and work with operators to help them with their commercial plans and their commercial delivery. From a 5G perspective, it's very new. 5G is a whole new network design. There's new network architecture in there. It changes from being what was pushed to you from the mobile network operators before to giving the opportunity to build your new private 5G networks. And 5G essentially, if you ask what 5G was, it really very much depends who you ask and very often when you ask them. In its broadest sense, it is that fifth generation of mobile technology, but it's much wider than that. You've seen the adverts probably with Kevin Bacon and the others on the television telling you about the speed at how fast it goes. But 5G and 5G private networks are massively about low latency applications, are about increased reliability, network slicing with the latest release 16 of 5G, and all of these things are potentially very disruptive to new businesses or to existing services, and people need to think about how they can take advantage of them and improve things like productivity or even develop new products and services off the back of them. 5G, so what? And what does it mean for Worcestershire? I think we identified early on that in Worcestershire that we could see opportunities around improved productivity for manufacturing and Industry 4.0. We also identified opportunities in the public sector for things like adult social care and children's social care and health applications from some of the wider partners, such as the NHS. 5G has the potential to work across all those kind of verticals and in between them too. When we looked at Industry 4.0, that was the first place we went with the Worcestershire 5G Industry 4.0 project. We worked with manufacturers Worcester, Bosch, Yamazaki, Mazak, and really looked at how 5G could drive productivity from services such as augmented reality, virtual reality, live recording of data, moving that data across, potentially stopping machines sooner so that the huge cost isn't cost on damaging equipment. And what we demonstrated there, that really there wasn't a killer 5G app in Industry 4.0, but when you stacked a number of applications on top of each other, that's where the benefits of 5G really started to pay off. And we also realised that as 5G becomes much more widely available, there'll be new business models and new applications for the likes of Yamazaki Mazak, and they can see a real potential for that when other factories have 5G either publicly or privately available. For the likes of companies like QinetiQ, they've developed 4 new products off the back of that project. And as we move forward to the future, what we're doing with the testbed as a service is we're looking to share the information with people, Worcestershire businesses in particular, about the benefits of 5G, how they may be able to get involved. We're going to build a testbed where businesses can either come to us, test things in the lab, test things off our mast, or test in an office environment, or equally we can build a network out into those factories in a very similar ways we did at Worcester Bosch as an example. And Worcester Bosch was really important for us because that was the first factory in the UK to have 5G, and we being on the front edge of that was clearly beneficial for us to understand and learn quite a bit from that. So the benefits of 5G and just what differences it can make to businesses. Post our original project, we've now started to work on Worcestershire 5G Co, based here at Malvern Hill Science Park, which is going to offer these different services to businesses. As an example, we've continued to work with Bosch post-project on automated guided vehicles. What Bosch identified was they had a problem with the vehicles, effectively mini pallet trucks that moved around the factory. They weren't working well over Wi-Fi. They weren't working well over the 4G network. What we've done with 5G is started to identify and work with them on those pallet trucks, and they can run more than one. They aren't stopping anymore. And that means that Bosch could unlock that opportunity and move those pallet trucks into a live environment potentially in the future. Other test beds we're working on, there's an aerospace company in the Midlands that again wants to look at remote monitoring and wants to look at augmented reality in their network, in their processing of the manufacturing line, and where 5G can be of benefit there. What we're seeing is effectively a large number of applications can be run off the same network, and once you need 5G just for that one application, well, you may as well use it for your other applications that potentially you might have run over 4G previously or over Wi-Fi previously. We've talked about shelf collisions with racking systems and trying to avoid those. We've identified that there's opportunity in remote monitoring of devices. There's a big thing with some of the factories where they want to see the remote operation of machinery and just how possible that is. And again, that requires ultra low latency. Outside of Worcestershire and what we've done, there are lots of other people looking at different use cases. There's some excellent ones around haptic suits and haptic equipment where you've seen a physician working and using a haptic glove effectively to guide the hand of a paramedic in an ambulance to tell them what to do and how that might work. That may be a few years down the line before that was implemented fully in a live case, but what we're seeing is that technology that previously may have failed in certain cases is available over 5G and works well. I think in recent times with COVID, we've also seen businesses be challenged in terms of how they operate, whether they operate at distance, how many people they can have in the office, and this all requires different levels of connectivity. The large transfer of files, as an example, which may be a radiographer's scan, but equally it may be an architect's drawing, and how quickly does that need to land at the other end. 5G also is a developing standard. One of the new processes in there is called network slicing. I always go back to looking at what network slicing can do. I always think of New Year's Eve when you send a text message. You send a text message on New Year's Eve, it arrives 5 o'clock in the next morning. if you were delivering medical services over that network, that wouldn't be satisfactory. So what slicing allows you to do is dedicate a particular channel within the network to your function, and would allow you to deliver that service in that way without a delay to the information, which might be critical to somebody's health. So I think until you start to see these applications of 5G, a physician or a doctor or an NHS wouldn't look to deliver services in that way over the mobile network. So yeah, if people are interested in finding out more about 5G and what we've done, our 5G report will be posted on the Worcestershire website. We also have a skills report on the same website, which Worcestershire did for the whole of the UK to review the skills gap analysis and what our thoughts were. There's a short video on there as well if you want to watch people a little bit more articulate than me talk about the benefits of 5G and the technology challenges that we've overcome. Moving forward, if people are interested in the Worcestershire testbed as a service, then contact me direct, or again through the Worcestershire website. There are links into what will be set up as the new Worcestershire 5G company in the coming months. The other place people may choose to look is UK 5G. Just give them a Google, sign up and register there. You will be kept informed then of a large number of different projects and webinars, seminars, where to find out more about 5G and latest industry updates for the UK.
It's such an exciting time to be involved in Worcestershire, and learning all we have today has been a real insight into what's being developed right here on our doorstep. And Worcestershire really is being digitally smart. If you would like to be involved, we have several channels for you to excel in Worcestershire. From proof of concept, as this video shows.
Worcestershire Proof of Concept programme provides financial support to develop and commercialise early stage business innovations.
It's all about doing something new to you or even new to the world, and we love working with all those different types of companies.
The proof of concept has been really great for Just Do Easy. We've been able to do something that we've been trying to do for a long time, which is develop a piece of software that allows us to get kids easy access into our software from things that they're using already in school.
Before I had the proof of concept funding, all I had was an idea and a prototype. I now have a fully professionally made product. It's in 180 pet shops across the country. So I've got a national brand just about to go global.
Lauch Pads.
Are you a Worcestershire-based entrepreneur looking for some free business support?
The Mission Days are all about you and transforming your ideas.
From inspirational coaching to powerful presentations, the experience boosted my mindset.
WINN Launchpad has given me some essential new team members.
And helped bring my B2B innovation into sharper focus.
And we also have a dedicated innovation platform.
The Innovation Platform, a place where you can virtually meet and connect with like-minded people. You can ask questions, join in conversations, and get involved in the challenges. So what are you waiting for?
WINN is all about our community, bringing people together even if we are apart. It's about you discovering who else is in the county, collaborations and conversations, connections, and the positive energy we all love when great people get together. We hope you've enjoyed watching these episodes as much as we've loved putting them together.
Don't put this on anything. West Midlands. Sorry, it's gone too fast.
Here at sorry, that doesn't make sense. Can I do that again? Because that was banging. It's been an amazing journey across our county. researching all the innovation stories.
Our very own West Midlands Safari Park, Worcester's own film festival, an invention from Penline Engineering, one of our Worcestershire businesses receiving a WINN Proof of Concept grant, demonstrating the brilliance that can emerge in such testing times. Rob Draper is an artist and designer based here in Worcestershire, working with a range of worldwide clients. One of our local creative inventors, Hamish Gill, has developed a developing tool. Things have really been moving on at the University of Worcester, which is instrumental in inspiring and nurturing our new talent as they break into our county's creative tech sector. Morgan has been handcrafting innovation since 1909. To this day, the recipe remains a closely guarded secret. Warriors has an amazing story to tell, from a small local club to our very own Premiership Rugby Club. Some would say carpet is woven into the history of our county. Discover over 300 years of Kidderminster's innovation within the carpet industry. Delicious chocolate flakes, handmade in the heart of the Worcestershire countryside. Droitwich Salt got Droitwich its charter from King John in 1215. Now, for something more fruity, let's see how Pershore College are innovating within the county. Innovative design, which won the Bentley Be-Inspired Infrastructure Best Practices Symposium Award in 2009, and making a difference with its renewable energy, sustainable materials and recycling capabilities, is the Hive in Worcester. Every little thing we can do to protect the planet counts. And the Little Soap Company are all about cruelty-free, vegan, natural soap for you to enjoy, and have recently created an Eco Warrior cleansing bar. Aspire Academy have taken making a difference to the younger generation and developed an environment where pupils can thrive, grow and achieve. Innovation in your supply chain can make a massive difference to your business, as well as that of your supplier.
And getting out and about, continuing to showcase our Worcestershire businesses.
I'm joined by Michael from Scientium. We're here at the Arches, where we have a thriving cluster of local creative tech businesses, and I'm joined by Philip Ingalls from Worcester.
Hi Amanda.
Hi.
What innovative projects have you been involved with? We are here with Alison Rees from Worcester University.
So I'm joined by Laura Worsfold from 7 Arts.
I'm here with Alison Evans from Influential Design. Hi Alison.
In light of the recent lockdown, we're having to do things a little bit differently, and so we're holding these interviews virtually. So today I'm joined by Sean Harris from Winn-Hub.
Thank you, Simon. It's great to be here. Thank you for inviting me.
On the menu today we have Ian from the Old Dough.
Thanks, Simon. Great to be here. Thanks for having me. Looking forward to answering a few of your questions.
Well, I'm not joined by Sam Barriscale from Mar Bakers, but I am via Zoom. We had hoped to meet together, but unfortunately we can't, so thank you so much for joining us, Sam. Well, I'm joined over Zoom by Mike Newnham from Quantum Tax. Thanks, Mike, for joining us. So I'm joined by John Downs from Glassful. I'm joined by William Tooby from The Fold at Bransford. I can. We could have done this on the motorway, it'd have been quieter.
And that's a wrap.
Although this is our last episode in the series, we are always here supporting you. Get in touch. We always love to hear from you.
It's been an amazing journey across our county.
Woohoo! Woo, woo, woo! And getting out and about, continuing to showcase our Worcestershire businesses.
Researching all the innovation stories.